Harper Audio presents The Standing Chandelier, a novella by Lionel Shriver. This is the author. In bottomless gratitude to Jeff and Sue, this is not about you. Jillian Frisk found the experience of being disliked bewildering. Or not bewildering enough, come to think of it, since the temptation was always to see her detractor's point of view. Newly aware of a woman's aversion, it was always another woman, and perhaps that meant something in itself not very nice. She would feel awkward, at a loss, mystified, even a little frightened, paralyzed. In a traducer's presence, she'd yearn to refute whatever about herself was purportedly so detestable. Yet no matter what she said or what she did, she would involuntarily verify the very qualities that the fault-finder couldn't bear. Vanity? Flakiness? Staginess? For an intrinsic facet of being disliked was racking your brain for whatever it was that rubbed other people so radically the wrong way. They rarely told you to your face. So you were left with a burgeoning list of obnoxious characteristics that you compiled for them. So Jillian would demote her garb from festive to garish, or even vulgar, and suddenly see how her offbeat thrift shop ensembles, replete with velvet vests, broad belts, tiered skirts, and enough scarves to kill Isadora Duncan 3 times over, could seem to demonstrate attention-seeking behavior. A clear, forceful voice was to the leery merely loud, and whenever she suppressed the volume, the better to give no offense, she simply became inaudible, which was maddening too. Besides, she didn't seem capable of maintaining a mousy, head-down demeanor for more than half an hour, during which the sensation was tantamount to a Chinese foot-binding of the soul. Wide gesticulation when she grew exuberant was doubtless histrionic. Smitten by another smoldering black look from across a table, she would sometimes trap her hands in her lap, where they would flap like captured birds. But in a moment of inattention, the dreaded extremities always escaped, flinging her napkin to the floor. Her full-throated guffaw would echo in her own ears as an annoying laugh. Whatever did you do about an annoying laugh? Stop finding anything funny? Then on top of all the ghastly attributes she embodied, merely being in the presence of someone who she knew couldn't stand her, slathered on an additionally off-putting surface of nervousness, contrition, and can't-beat-them-join-them self-suspicion. But then, Jillian should have known better by now, having enough times withstood the gamut from distaste to loathing, yet rarely indifference. When people didn't like you, if this doesn't seem too obvious, they didn't like you. That is, the problem wasn't an identifiable set of habits, beliefs, and traits, say, a propensity for leaning against a counter with a jauntily jutted hip as if you thought you were hot stuff, overusage of the word fabulous, a misguided conviction that refusing to vote is making a political statement, a tendency to mug the more premeditative with a sudden impulse to go camping this very afternoon, and to make them feel like spoil sports when they didn't want to go. No. It was the sum total that rankled, the whole package, the essence from which all of these evidences sprang. Jillian could remain perfectly still with her mouth zipped, and Estelle Pettiford, a fellow crafts counselor at the Maryland summer camp where Jillian worked for a couple of seasons, whose idea of compelling recreation for 15-year-olds was making Christmas trees out of phone books in July, would still have hated her, and the girl would have kept hating her, even if this object of odium didn't move a muscle
Sample complete. Ready to continue?